Let's roll. It's level 2. This is SportsRage. I'm Morency. I keep looking at my account here, and I'm like, man, do I have some like big play unsettled here? Like the math isn't adding up for me, but I do have a lot of player props going on here right now in this game. And the Dodgers are losing the game right now. It's 3-2. We'll bring in Captain Chalk, who has to be in a pretty good mood due to the Islanders. Islanders booking a playoff spot, but he's more worried about his money right now. What's up, Kurtz? How you doing?
As you said, right? Islanders, great. Yankees lost. And what the hell, Glasnow? I mean, really? 3 runs already to Washington? Come on. All right, Edmonton's doing their part for me tonight, ripping the Sharks to pieces here. But no.
Can't you just be happy the Islanders won, George, and we were there and they got that extra point? Like, it was like a gift from the gods. You get to the playoffs. You're probably not going anywhere, but come on, be happy, buddy.
You can look at it like this, though. Yes, they're going to get to the playoffs, and they're going to get crushed by Carolina, right? Anyone really have them beating Carolina? Carolina beat them last year in 5. They'll lose again in 5, maybe 6. And then Lamoriello will keep his job because he got to the playoffs. And we're going to go through the same cycle next year of not adding any offensive talent, and you're a bubble team every year. What's the point of this? You don't understand what I'm saying here?
Yeah,
they're
Patrick
not
Waugh.
Cup team.
Yeah, but let me ask you. It's you're in the middle, so you know what I mean, George? You're better off making the playoffs than being one spot out of the playoffs, or at least like my Toronto Raptors, at least not in the playoffs, but they have the 6th pick in the NBA draft. So at least there's like, okay, you're going to get a piece out of this for a wasted year. When you're in that middle zone, but you're right. Whether they made the playoffs or not, George, it's the worst place to be in sports as a sports fan. Purgatory, right in the middle.
You either need to suck to get those top picks, or you're competing for the cup. And this is all sports, by the way. It's how you win nowadays, right? MLB, NFL, NHL, NBA. You need to get top picks or you're competing for a trophy. Anything in between, purgatory as you're calling it, gets you nowhere. I said, I'm an Islander fan. Do they have a puncher's chance? Sure. Sorokin and Varlamov could play fantastic. We don't know
the
what's
power
going
of
on.
Patrick
We're
Waugh.
keep that very hush-hush.
Hey, exactly.
Listen, I love Patrick Waugh. I absolutely love Waugh. I think he's part of the reason why the Islanders have that extra jump, but he's not Al Arbor. He's not Scotty Bowman. And I don't know if those guys can get much more out of this team. There's just not much offense here out of
Al Arbor's not Patrick Waugh either.
Barzell.
Hey, he did win. He's won 4 cups. He's won a lot of cups. You
know what, George? You're too pessimistic. You got to watch them. We watch that team live. They have a lot of
Are you betting on the Islanders to beat Carolina?
I'm going to take them a few games. I'll tell you
he
one
just
thing.
took the San Jose Sharks tonight.
How's that working out?
Plus 5.5 and 6.5.
You're still getting
down 8. I know. I'm on the Wild, though. Cut me some slack.
I like to play devil's advocate when you said they were going to get rolled by the Hurricanes, but I'm like, kind of thinking, I don't see the Islanders beating the Hurricanes.
You know what it is?
They could, but the Canes would have to choke, and they're not going to.
The Islanders, though, I'm just going to say this, and George can agree. We watch these guys live. They do a lot of things right. They're very unlucky. They need a finisher. Palmieri's playing great. He had the game-winning goal against the Canadiens, and there's a lot of guys on that team that are tough. And I'll tell you one thing about Carolina. The Islanders, they're going to turn this into a street fight with weapons, Gabe, like wrestling where you pull the razor blades out of your trunk. That's how the way the Islanders are going to do this. And their goaltending is damn good. I watched Varlamov play live. I think Sorokin's fun. Like, they got good. That's one thing. Carolina, yeah, they're way better, but crazier things have happened. Columbus beat, they beat Tampa Bay a long time ago? And they were huge dogs. The NHL is different than other sports. Crazier things can happen with a hot tender.
Hot goalie. You just said it. It's hot goalie. It's got Sorokin and Varlamov have to win that series. And that's good. By the way, if you're Patrick Waugh, Semyon Varlamov has gotten the Islanders where they are now. He's always played fantastic. What do you do game 1?
You start Varlamov. I saw him live.
I think you start Varlamov. I agree, Cam. I agree. Start Varlamov. I agree.
I'm more of an Islander supporter than you, George. I wore a jersey to the game, and you wore flannels. I was supporting the Islanders. Just give me. Thank you, Gabe.
Give me to wear a jersey, George.
Yeah.
I very rarely wear a jersey to a game. I didn't have enough time that day anyway. I was running around, but it's a superstition.
Isn't that like the only time to wear a jersey?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. He was busy. I'm wearing an Islander jersey.
Yankee jerseys at home all the time, but I very rarely wear a jersey to a game. It's a superstitious thing.
Lisa,
I'm like the opposite. Yeah. Like I never walk around with any jerseys on, but it's like game day, I'm gonna put the jersey on.
Yeah. You're right, Gabe. You got to wear a jersey.
I'm weaning myself off of jerseys, though. It's hard. It's like an addiction or something. Yeah, I'm a grown man. I don't need to be walking around with other people's jerseys' name on my back.
Yeah, but at sporting events, you can wear a jersey still. That's fair. But you're right. In regular jobs and in public, like if you're donning jerseys like for no reason, that's different.
I don't know. Well, I just see I see George's guy, Skip Bayless, the Cowboy fan, in a Cowboy jersey. Like he looks like a tool. Like he look like an old man in a tool. What are you wearing a jersey for?
He looks horrible.
Then I think I'm like, do I look like a tool? Like,
no, you don't. You don't. It's just Skip Bayless looks like a tool in any jersey.
Away there the last year. Didn't Skip throw all his Cowboy stuff away?
He doesn't even answer the whole thing. He doesn't even throw it away. People pointed out the same jerseys. He takes them out. It's like, oh God, it's the weakest thing ever.
I never get rid of my Leafs jerseys or my Seahawk jerseys. That's the problem with these idiots on TV. And then they make promises that they don't keep. They say, I'm going to burn my stuff and do it. Like, call your bluff.
That's the stupidest thing ever, too, burning clothes.
Yeah, I know. It's like, what are you doing, man? Like, anyway, a lot of guys on TV make promises that they don't keep. So don't make promises you can't keep, or else people will hold you accountable.
My favorite was when in Cleveland they burned all of LeBron James's stuff when he left. And then he came back, and they had to rebuy his jersey all over again. It was the best.
It's a bad financial move.
You bunch of losers. Should just put it in the closet, man. Put it in the closet. Like, you don't have to wear it. You're out there burning it. Now you're all happy you came back. You got to buy a new one now. Have you ever,
burn my
I've never done that. You know, I've been mad at teams before. I've never, like, angrily, like, burnt a jersey, thrown a jersey out after.
I thought about it, but I didn't do it.
I thought about it too.
I was going to burn my Cabernet jersey, but I'm like, it's a nice jersey. It doesn't fit, but why am I burning a jersey, even though it's team?
I have angrily taken my Bills jersey off after a game and whipped it against the wall, or like just like that. I've done a million times. Like effing Bills. You know what I mean? Absolutely. I don't throw it away. I just throw it and I'll pick it up the next day off the floor.
You don't want to buy new merchandise.
Anyway, those cost too much money. There's no way I'm burning it or throwing it away. Even if I have a jersey I don't like with a certain number I don't like of a player I just ended up hating, I wouldn't throw it away. Hell, I have a Ron. By the way, Cam, I have a Ron Hextall Islanders jersey. There you go. Wow. I'll never wear it. I will never wear it, but I have it. I'll show it to you. It's right in the other.
I think of Ron Hextall. I think of Flyers, not Islanders.
Yeah, me too.
You know our boy Tommy, Frankie,
taken off and put on Tonelli. Oh, they
Frankie's doing Frankie's doing the show tonight on Mondays now. But Tommy, like I said, we're like a Bon Jovi video here with our guys, Frankie and Tommy. But we've got our boy Tommy was all excited the other day. Whose jersey was on sale? Oh, Stephon Diggs. Because we're both Bills fans. And I'll show you guys the jersey after the break. I got a new Bills jersey. I can't help myself. He goes, yeah, I'm going to buy a Diggs jersey tomorrow. I see he's got traded. He goes, yeah, I always buy players after they leave. I have a collection.
I like that. Better price.
People that bashed him will be eating their words this year.
Pretty heavily favored to be a first-round pick, minus 400 earlier this week. But that's not the surprise.
If you're drafting J.J. McCarthy in the first half of the first round, you clearly believe not only is he a starter, he's going to be your starter for years to come. But
a popular bet was under 3.5 wide receivers in the first round.
The tape doesn't lie, baby.
Only on SportsGrid.
There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than game time decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Jason Tatum has games where he has stinkers. He shoots a 4 for 16. Jaylen Brown in the playoffs gets exposed because he can't go left. Porzingis gets old. Sometimes Jrue Holiday's not consistent. Al Horford father time to catch up. That being said, I still think they're going to the NBA Finals and winning it. And I'm a Knicks fan. I hate the Celtics with all of my might.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
I mean, they're still the best. They're still the champs. Everyone wants to crown the Celtics the champions, but that's not the way it works. They got to beat them. And, they got to get through the East, which isn't going to be fun to begin with. Everyone thinks it's so automatic.
If it's just Boris is kind of losing his power, if whatever his tactics have been, yeah, move on.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
Memphis owns it. They beat them 5 straight times. And Memphis is awful. So what does that say about the Bucks? They are the most overrated team in the NBA, hands down.
Michigan and Boston College, there's going to be goals scored in this game. But, with that being stated, the total's up to 7.5 right now. I got to go under 7.5 here, Scott.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid. Your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Pharrell Coast to Coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
This is SportsRage. I am Morency. We're kicking it. The playoffs are set to begin. It's a great time of the year. Need the Dodgers to get this thing going on the diamond right now. As far as baseball scores, games that were closing up, we focused on the Dodgers. That was the only one that was starting. But the Braves are beating the Astros 6-1. Man, the Astros just blow this year. 6-1. We haven't gotten the Spencer Strider news yet. Cubs and D-backs tied at 1, guys, right now. Still some ball left in this one. Top of the 6th inning. Cubs are plus 160 in a game that's tied in the 6th inning. That's just betting value right there. Just point blank. Doesn't matter who the teams are. You have a tie game. You're in the 6th inning, and one team is plus 160. And it's not like the D-backs or some sort of juggernaut versus the Cubs or something. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is, Kurtz and Cam. What do you think, Kurtz? I'm taking the Cubs. You're not going to like it because it's the underdog, but I'm doing it.
I don't have anything on this game pregame, so I'm okay with it. I didn't bet on the Diamondback. I thought about it. Because I actually kind of liked Merrill Kelly tonight, and he pitched well, but they didn't hit for him here.
But
so
he's gone now. That's the whole thing with laying a price with a pitcher. You lay a price, and he's not there.
The Diamondbacks bullpen. The bullpen hasn't been good. I think I might follow.
This will be like my Sharks bet with Cam. Taking the Cubs
here.
I'm going to do something. I'm going to do something even crazier. They're giving me Sharks 8.5. Yeah, no, Sharks 8.5 plus 111. I'm in. I'm not even lying to you. I'm in. I'm getting it back.
Figure.
I can't.
You figure at some point, once Edmonton gets to 10, they'll call the dogs off. But
so
the thing is, in hockey, you really can't. What are they going to do? Start icing it? No, like you just sort of.
Yeah, just sit all their stars. They're going to worry about the playoffs. What are these guys doing? Enough. You've already proved your point. You're good. We get it.
Man, this is what the Oilers do. They beat up bad teams. I'm not buying in.
Who has incentives, by the way? I might ask myself that for the Oilers. They have incentives. They're going to still try and score, right? Maybe 2 more goals get you an extra 50,000. I don't know offhand. I'm just throwing stuff out there.
No, I know, but the NHL, they're cheap, George. It's not. What's the bonus? Give me $5,000.
Yeah, that's true.
All kidding aside, you're right though. No, but there's more like MVP stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're not big. It's a team sport. They're not big on that. Like, oh yeah, if you score 40, we'll give you this. If you score 50, we'll give you that. You'll notice you don't see that a lot. You never hear about that. You will hear if you're an all-star. If I'm an all-star, I get this. If I'm the MVP, if I won one of the player awards, you know what I mean? Give me a bonus. But hockey's not big on bonuses. But that's the big debate in Toronto. We've talked about it, and it shouldn't really be a debate. I wouldn't play Austin Matthews if the Leafs were locked in to what they are, and they are. Why would you play Austin Matthews right now?
I agree.
You know me, I wouldn't. If I'm the Islanders, I'm not playing anybody on Wednesday. I don't care if Pittsburgh needs to get in. That's their problem. That's a Detroit Red Wings problem that they waited till the last game. If I'm the Islanders, Bo Horvat doesn't play. Barzal doesn't play. I don't think Dobson plays either way. And, all right, either Varlamov or Sorokin's likely going to have to play. So you get the top goalie. Maybe they split, go half and half here. But, no, I don't rest. I rest my stars. Unless there's some reason where you think it's bad to rest them. If you know from the NHL, let's just say for giggles here, the NHL goes, well, the Islanders, you're not going to play till Monday. Thursday, Friday. All right, that's a long layoff. Maybe you don't want to wait that long then. But that game for Pittsburgh is going to mean a lot. They're going to bang, and they're not going to mind putting you out here. I would not play. So I say I just don't rest my guys.
Hey, Gabe, I just got a direct tweet from Gamblu. Islanders are dangerous. They're in. Gamblu loves the Islanders. Like, what's his deal? He thinks they can beat Carolina.
They are built for the playoffs. The Islanders are, because they'll bang you. They want to tire you out and bring it to a long series. That they just don't have the goal scorers. And by the way, we don't know what's up with Dobson. They've already lost Mayfield. If Dobson's out, and you know how it is now in the NHL, state secrets, they don't tell you, oh, he's day-to-day. His leg can be amputated. He'd be day-to-day. If he's out for this series, Islanders have nobody who can carry that puck out of the zone. Nobody. The Carolina Hurricanes will spend so much time in the Islanders zone. I'll be big-time playing. Whichever goalie plays for the Islanders, Sorokin, take his over saves because he's going to get pounded with rubber.
Hey,
I tweeted out.
The Dodgers, do we take them -1.5? On my book, they're +122 at -1.5. You got me thinking now. Like, there's a lot of baseball left, but there's still too much on the money line.
Bottom four. Runner on first, one out. Muncie's
up. I still think they're going to win the game. They haven't had a crooked inning yet. They'll have some inning where they put some runs up, right? They've been chipping away a bit here. I'm not panicked about the Dodgers. But you talked about it, Kurt, when you said the NHL, and it's funny. Most, they're the only stupid ones that came up with that. And, actually it's not that dumb, to be honest. But everyone knows in a league, they think that people don't know what injuries are. But they're the first ones that created the upper body and lower body injury. It's the best. Oh, he's got a lower body injury. It's like, well, what does that mean? How many things does that really mean, guys? Right? So they have their upper and lower body, but I've talked about it. Rick Tocchet of the Vancouver Canucks, I don't know what it is with him. I don't know, because he's an old school dude. You figure that he would live by that same code that they all do, but he really doesn't. I've never seen a more open and honest coach about his team, like about injuries and practice and stuff, than Tocchet. He's like, well, we're going to do this, and we did that, and this guy is this, and they live up to it. So everybody I see in the media, everyone's, Thatcher Demko's back tomorrow. I told you 10 days ago, Kurtz, he's going to play against the Calgary Flames, the second last game of the year. And why did I know that? Because Rick Tocchet said it 2 weeks ago, right? Mm-hmm. They basically said, we have that game circled all along. For the last, everyone, anyone that follows them knew this. But the only reason we knew this is because Tocchet spoke openly about this, George, which is really amazing for a hockey coach. Normally they don't do that.
I thought when gambling became more prevalent, more legal in the NHL, and especially when they were going to have these sports books at arenas and all, I thought the upper body and lower body would go away. I thought they'd have to be more honest. Where it's, they got, it's a knee injury. He's 2 to 3 weeks. I don't care about the upper body, lower body, fine. But the day-to-day, when it's week to week, a month to month, that's what's frustrating. When they just flat out lie.
Hockey betting isn't big enough for them to care.
Exactly.
Yeah,
no offense to George. I wouldn't tell. Gabe? If you and Kurtz are the coach, I'm not telling anybody anything. There's so many dirty players that.
I'm not saying they're wrong. You're right. I too.
You know what? You know nothing, and it's not my job to tell you anything. My job is to win hockey games.
I said that last year, but you were complaining last year, Cam, about lineups.
No.
That's what I said.
No, I agree.
Just because people are betting, a coach shouldn't have to tell. It is frustrating. It is frustrating, but just because people bet on it, why would a coach have to?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
to tell
NFL
people who they're playing.
You can't lie in the NFL. You need to do it like that. You're not allowed. The NFL, you have to, you get fined.
Yeah, but they all lie. They just lie anyways.
Yeah, they do. Belichick's the best.
It's just stupid.
At least they're a little bit more specific.
Injury report.
Mm-hmm. Right? They're a little bit more specific. In the NHL, it's upper body, lower body. And by the way, an upper body could be a finger, could be a knee, could be your head. You just don't know. I said, I'm the Islander fan. I have no idea if Dobson's playing Wednesday. If he's playing whenever game one is. We have no idea because it says state secret. I don't even know what his injury is.
It's different. To Gabe's point, if I know a guy has a lower body injury and a scrum in the boards, you're going to stick him like there's just too many things you can. Hockey's different. We don't know. What do you like for football? Sure, maybe you're going to get hit on the play. You know what I'm saying?
But the thing is, everybody in the NHL knows everything about everybody, though. So, like, a team can say, oh, it's a lower body injury. It doesn't mean that everybody on the other team and every other team doesn't know specifically exactly what happened to the guy. They're all friends. They all know each other. They all have the same ages, right? They all, like, you know what I mean? It's going to be known. Oh, yeah. What, his lower body? Oh, yeah. He hurt his ankle. Like, it's the ankle. Like, they already know. That's the whole thing where it's kind of, like, foolish, to be honest. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Exactly. Like players in the league know. You did it to a guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like if you're in
I'm just saying if you're in the playoffs and you injure someone, and they say in the media, oh, he has a lower body injury, you know what happened. You're the effing one that hit the guy. Right? That's you're like, I don't have lower body injury. I'm the one that took him out last night, and I'm the one that hurt his knee. I know because I'm the one that did it. So what's the point? Like, it's just dumb.
Yeah.
People that bashed him will be eating their words this year.
Pretty heavily favored to be a first-round pick, minus 400 earlier this week. But that's not the surprise.
If you're drafting J.J. McCarthy in the first half of the first round, you clearly believe not only is he a starter, he's going to be your starter for years to come. But
a popular bet was under 3.5 wide receivers in the first round.
The tape doesn't lie, baby.
Only on SportsGrid.
There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than game time decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Jason Tatum has games where he has stinkers. He shoots a 4 for 16. Jaylen Brown in the playoffs gets exposed because he can't go left. Porzingis gets old. Sometimes Jrue Holiday's not consistent. Al Horford father time to catch up. That being said, I still think they're going to the NBA Finals and winning it. And I'm a Knicks fan. I hate the Celtics with all of my might.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
I mean, they're still the best. They're still the champs. Everyone wants to crown the Celtics the champions, but that's not the way it works. They got to beat them. And, they got to get through the East, which isn't going to be fun to begin with. Everyone thinks it's so automatic.
If it's just Boris is kind of losing his power, if whatever his tactics have been, move on.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
Memphis owns it. They beat them 5 straight times. And Memphis is awful. So what does that say about the Bucks? They are the most overrated team in the NBA, hands down.
Michigan and Boston College, there's going to be goals scored in this game. But, with that being stated, the total's up to 7.5 right now. I got to go under 7.5 here, Scott.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid. Your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Pharrell Coast to Coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
All right, we're not at we're getting angry mode yet, but we're getting perturbed at this National Dodger game. 3-2 right now. Kurtz is already on edge. Kurtz is he's muttering under his breath about it. He's getting still a lot of at-bats left. But what I don't like is every damn inning's never easy for Glass now. It's never just let's just get back to the plate here. There's always drama here. Whatever. It's not the end of the world. There's a runner on first. There's 2 out right now. So let's just get back up to the box and get some runs going in this game and come back. So we were talking about the NHL playoffs, and there's a bunch of games, and we're literally days away from the end of the regular season, and we don't know when the playoffs are starting. Nobody knows, right? It was supposed to be April 22nd. That was their loose date was April 22nd. And I talked about this last week when I said, when they made, and the NHL, we can do this 100 times a year about their stupidity with their schedule. When they made the schedule to start the year, guys, in what world of common sense did they say it's a good idea to have the regular season end on a Thursday? You can't give teams 48, you know what I mean? Normally in sports, you get about 4 days. Maybe three. But you get 4 days to prepare. And also, not just the teams. The teams can't book hotel rooms. They don't know where they're going. They don't know what day they're playing. It's ridiculous logistics of this. Imagine, think about having to be the guy, of the Kings right now. You're the George Costanza, assistant to the traveling secretary. You got to book the hotels. You got to book this. You got to worry about that. No, seriously, Cam, you don't know. It's I don't know. What day are we playing? We don't know. They never told us. And we're going to find out at the last minute. And what about fans, Kurtz? How the hell can you, put it this way, the NBA's regular season freaking ended on a Sunday because they're not morons, right? And they have their play-in tournament through the week, and all the other matchups are set. And the TV schedule is set for the weekend. If you're a fan of a team, I can buy my ticket. I'll get my flight. I'm going here for this game here. So what we're going to do in the NHL, we're going to have Thursday night. The season's going to end. They're going to go, by the way, the playoffs start Saturday afternoon. And they never announced it. If you punch in, when do NHL playoffs start, there's no date. It all says was April 22nd was the tentative date. But now it's believed that it'll be the 20th. The NHL never said it's starting on Saturday. But I heard the networks gave them a reaming and said, what are you guys, morons? Of course we need hockey over the weekend. We got the NBA playoffs going on. We need counter-programming. They don't think. It's unbelievable.
I think what the NHL is likely hoping for, why they haven't announced anything yet, is, we know TV rules anyway, but they're probably hoping they can get enough series between 2 teams that played Wednesday, not Thursday or earlier, to play on Saturday. The Islanders, Carolina can play on Saturday. That series is set now, right? The Islanders game on Wednesday doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. You can play Saturday afternoon. Thursday, Islanders time slot.
That's the Houston Texans. The Islanders are the Houston Texans. We know they get whatever the worst time slot there is, the Islanders are going to have it. All right, 12:30 maybe on Saturday if they want to go all day. But that's the other problem. We don't have too many series that are set right now.
The Canucks are playing Thursday. They're going to play Sunday, I would imagine.
Sunday night. They'll be with the late game Sunday. I would assume anyway.
What's the Thursday night schedule here? Let me see this Thursday night in the NHL. Whatever the teams are playing there, they'll bump them to Sunday. And that's really still not a lot of time. You know what? I bet you what they'll do is, I wouldn't be surprised if some of them play Monday. Like you just said, Kurtz, they'll do enough to give TV something. You know what I mean? The Jets and Avs are already locked in. They know they're playing. Colorado, I guarantee you they told them. They know their TV schedule behind the scenes.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Right? The NHL would have told them. Most of the
Western Conference, by the way, plays on Thursday. Most of the Western Conference playoff teams, 6 of the 8 play on Thursday. So they're gonna play Sunday, which means the Eastern Conference would have to be moved to Saturday if they can get enough teams. They don't be over by Wednesday. It's doable. You'd get 2 plus days. It's not ideal, but it's doable.
Another thing is what the NHL is, where they're morons. They don't know, and now the NBA will already have the buildings booked too.
So the other so many teams,
right? So basically. Yeah. So if, let's say, the Lakers get in through the play-in here, suddenly, boom, well, there's the crypt. And who do you think is going to get center stage at the crypt in L.A., guys? The Kings or the Lakers? They're going to tell the Kings. They're going to tell the Kings, yeah, well, listen, the Lakers are playing these days, so knock yourself out on the days of the other days, because this is what we're doing.
Yep. You got
right?
it.
Rangers, Knicks, it's Dolan. But I'm not just saying about the competition with the teams. It's a logistical nightmare. That's what I'm talking about. That could be avoided, right? At least to a certain extent. I mean, you have people, like I said, hotel rooms, travel, preparation for the teams, you know what I mean? And then not to mention the damn arenas. So then even after now, you're going to have to look and go, oh, my God, well, the Knicks are in the playoffs. The Lakers are in the playoffs. And now this changes our dates here. I'm sure they have some sort of loose plan behind the scene. They're in the VIP room with the brass rail as we speak, I understand. Yes. And they're getting some work done right now in between lap dances on the back of a napkin. You could let the bouncer at the brass rail do the schedule. He'll do a better job.
What happened?
Perturbed has just gone out the window, by the way. We're well past perturbed now.
What's going on?
Oh, there it goes, yeah. We're in trouble. The Nationals just hit a 3-run home run.
Isn't that ironic, Gabe? Out of all the teams, too, the one team that you hate, like the Nationals, are screwing the Dodgers.
Oh, I don't hate them the most. It's okay.
Yeah.
But it's just still bothering me.
Yeah, bets are bets.
Jackie Robinson Day. That's the thing that pisses me off. Like, you're the Dodgers. How the hell are you losing on Jackie Robinson Day? Like, come on, man. That's baseball, though, right? Big favorite coming in last game of the night.
Baseball,
the Nationals.
Fantastic.
What?
That's baseball, Susan. There's your John Sterling reference. Okay, he retired today.
That's baseball, Susan. That's the line.
Susan Waldman.
He says that a lot. Yeah, that's baseball.
It's Susan. Yeah. Okay, I get it.
That's baseball, Susan. God, I did not think this was going to be the game that ticked me off tonight. Really did. I thought the Dodgers were white.
I'm mad. I'm mad I didn't just jump in on the in-game total a couple minutes ago because I was thinking the Dodgers have a crooked inning coming up. What's the total now? The Dodgers will get some runs here. I don't know if they're going to be able to win, but they'll get some runs going. It's 12.5 right now. So they're at 8.
Need 5 more runs. You're halfway through. You're not even halfway through the game.
It's a little high. I prefer 11.5.
Dodgers will probably throw their lesser relievers in too once Glasnow gets taken out here.
Figure the Dodgers get to 4 or 5 still at least. I'm not going to write them off. What are the Dodgers on the money line here? You know what's crazy? The Dodgers are down by 4 effing runs and they're only plus 300.
I need more.
You got to be kidding me. Remember the other night, Cam? The Oakland Athletics were up by 1 run, and they were minus 1,000. They were 10-1 up 1 run.
And remember what happened when they were 10-1? The other team tied it, and they got lucky, and they won an extra innings. It was a gong show. We could have had both sides. Yeah, that's for sure. Wow, that's respect.
The Dodgers on the run line are only plus 2.5. They're really just like they don't want you making money on them, even trying to get it back here. Lets you know the book and the computer believes the Dodgers are going to get back in this game. Nick Ramirez warming up in the pen right now. I didn't anticipate Glasnow getting lit up like this.
Well,
everybody's bad starts, but I thought he'd wreck tonight. Oh no, this is unfortunate. Unfortunate, to put it nicely.
Interesting that he's still in the game.
Well, you got to still build up his pitch count, right? He's at 92, it looks like. So I guess they're trying to get him through the inning. This way he can go 100 pitches now, and now he's set for the season. I sort of understand that. But he's labored through this entire game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He doesn't Bobby Miller's on the DL right now. I would get Glasnow out of here. I guess they want to get him through this inning, but I would get him out of here. He's giving up 6 runs. He doesn't have his stuff. He's getting hit. He's up to 93 pitches right now. I don't really see the point of keeping him in. But as I said, I wouldn't.
Getting rocked.
I wouldn't write the Dodgers off.
Start. I wouldn't write him off either. It's amazing. Some of these guys that are like certifiable, like studs, Cy Young slow starts, but it's a long season. That's for sure.
Well, Glasnow's been fired, so I guess he was due for.
Yeah.
He was due for this. So 6-2 right now, going to the fifth inning. That's the whole thing with baseball, though. It's 162 games. You're going to get burnt along the way. You know what I mean? Sounds cliche, but the best teams only win 100 out of 100. You know, the best teams are going to lose 62 times, which is pretty daunting if you think about it.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Your best
Now
baseball
11.
team is a 10-6 football team. Go figure.
Yeah, that goes to show how hard it is. And no one really gets past that. Imagine, so what's a 12-4 team? 120 wins? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it goes to show how hard it is.
That's what it is.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's insanity. When you really break it down, that's, wow. Nobody's winning 120 games. Give me a break.
It's harder to win 120 games than it is to win 12 games, though.
Damn right it is. It's not even a debate.
You've seen 13, 14-win football teams. You're never going to see that in baseball. You're not going to see a 130-win team.
I get it. Football is like physical and stuff, and it's ruthless on the body. But at the same point in time, the Super Bowl is the easiest trophy to win. You get through the season, you got to win the cup. You win 2 games, and you're in the Super Bowl.
I agree with you. 100% correct.
It's like it's not that same thing as like these other leagues. Like, man, you can play 162 games and win all these series against good teams. It's not easy.
People that bashed him will be eating their words this year.
Pretty heavily favored to be a first-round pick, minus 400 earlier this week. But that's not the surprise.
If you're drafting J.J. McCarthy in the first half of the first round, you clearly believe not only is he a starter, he's going to be your starter for years to come. But
a popular bet was under 3.5 wide receivers in the first round.
The tape doesn't lie, baby.
Only on SportsGrid.
There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Jason Tatum has games where he has stinkers. He shoots a 4 for 16. Jaylen Brown in the playoffs gets exposed because he can't go left. Porzingis gets old. Sometimes Jrue Holiday's not consistent. Al Horford father time to catch up. That being said, I still think they're going to the NBA Finals and winning it. And I'm a Knicks fan. I hate the Celtics with all of my might.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
I mean, they're still the best. They're still the champs. Everyone wants to crown the Celtics the champions, but that's not the way it works. They got to beat them. And, they got to get through the East, which isn't going to be fun to begin with. Everyone thinks it's so automatic.
If it's just Boris is kind of losing his power, if whatever his tactics have been, yeah, move on.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
Memphis owns it. They beat them 5 straight times. And Memphis is awful. So what does that say about the Bucks? They're the most overrated team in the NBA, hands down.
Michigan and Boston College, there's going to be goals scored in this game. But, with that being stated, the total's up to 7.5 right now. I got to go under 7.5 here, Scott.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid. Your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Pharrell Coast to Coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
This is Sports Rage. I am Morency. The Brooklyn Nets, not that anybody cares, but the Brooklyn Nets have hired Jordi Fernandez to be their top coach. He's Sacramento Kings assistant coach. He was actually in the running to be the Toronto Raptors. Head coach, but they gave it to the dude they gave it to. And in fact, you might remember, Fernandez actually coaches the Canadian national team. And he coached them in the FIBA World Cup as well. And I think he was a former Raptor assistant, actually. Like I said, it says here, he's from Barcelona, interviewed for that coaching job with the Raptors. And he coaches the national team. He's coached the Nigerian national team. And of course, Masai Ujiri, the president of the Raptors from Nigeria, there's a connection with Fernandez. So he's a good basketball coach, this guy. Modern coach, international game, run and gun, spread the floor, players love him. He's been a big part of these franchises, like I said. So it's a good hire. I know it's the Brooklyn Nets, but from a basketball standpoint, the Nets, they got off track. They had a good coach with Atkinson. And they went for let's try to be the talk of the town and get all these stars and all this type stuff. Mm-hmm. Going back to just they're a basketball coach, not a celebrity, just a basketball coach. Good hire. So that's that right there. So I wanted to get to this actually. What about the Nets?
Yeah. Remember when I visited you in Weehawken and we watched that Brooklyn game and you were saying that team that they were grinding out? That team was amazing. And they did it with all just guys that got no respect in Atkinson. So I agree with you 100%. Don't go for the big shiny star. Sometimes just go with what works. You know what I mean? That's the whole thing. They were better back then. You were right.
Yeah, that's the lure of the NBA, the lure of the superstar, in which teams can't help themselves. They just think we're going to sell tickets, we're going to be relevant, and they weren't. The only people who bought tickets when they signed Durant, that's the whole thing. Like, they signed Durant and Kyrie Irving to try to compete with the Knicks in New York and try to become relevant, but you can't. Like, it won't work. You know what I mean? Like, look at people are always going to be Knicks fans there anyways. Right, like no one grew up liking the Nets. They're the New Jersey Nets, so you're never going to reach those fans. And you're better off just drafting players, building your own thing. Look at the Phoenix Suns; they bring Durant in. Hasn't been some paradise there. The star stuff doesn't work. The Nets had something good going too. It's true. So I wanted to get to this about the New York Jets. Listen, I can't take any pot shots at the Jet franchise because they've actually won a Super Bowl with the Bills. It's a long time ago, but the Jets have a lot of bad luck, so they're trying to shake things up. They've changed their uniform. Breaking news, guys. They caught us off guard. The Jets made a big announcement today about how they have a new look, and you figure a team that has as much bad luck as they have, they need a new look. Here's their new look, Kurtz. What do you think? It's really, really different than what they've had. Can you tell the difference? And do we have the shirt? It is the difference. There it is. There's their new uniform.
I'm glad you said this because I saw this morning. Jets did this, and I'm like, what the hell has changed?
I like it, though. I like the Ken O'Brien Jets thing. It's just a slicker version of Ken O'Brien.
No, it's not even. They should go back to it. No, it isn't. The Ken O'Brien Jets is a different type of green. This is Saskatchewan Roughrider green. They ripped off the Saskatchewan Roughriders, point blank.
They did.
What's different about this? What do they change? Frankie, you're a Jet fan. People can't hear Frankie, but please tell me. What's different about this than any other piece of crap Jet jersey.
Last year's jersey and that one.
Are these it? Let me see them. Put them up again.
Looks the same to me.
The New York Sack Exchange. That was not the Sack Exchange helmet, number one, point blank. It's a different green. It's a different
more sharper, deeper, darker green. That's it. It's a 4% change. It's meaningless. If you didn't tell anybody, people I guess they have the same. You wouldn't even know.
I think it looks pretty slick. It's very simple, and I like that in a jersey. Like nothing too crazy. It's fine. The jersey's all right, but they did rip off.
But it's not a big change. It's fun. The Jets jerseys were fine anyway.
I'm not trying to pile on the New York Jets now or anything, but they probably have the worst uniform in the NFL.
Look at the Seahawks. We had the best uniform, and they went to that stupid new stuff. Go back to the throwbacks all the time, you monkey.
The neon stuff, the glow in the dark.
Everything they do sucks. It's like a kid's play. It's like going to Chuck E. Cheese ball pit. Give me my damn jersey back, the Steve Largent jersey. Are you stupid? That's the first thing I do in the boardroom.
Yeah, but hold on. But their neon jersey's not their prime jersey. That's the third jersey they wear.
The regular jersey.
That's not a prime. So I'm talking about regular jerseys. What's the worst uniform in the NFL?
I've never liked the Bears.
Well, it's pretty basic. Green Bay's pretty basic, but they're historical.
Pretty nice, the Bears classic.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
The Bears have new uniforms, actually. Frankie, guys, Pat Foster, can you guys get me the Bears? The Bears actually, a lot of teams have new uniforms this year. The Bears actually have a new one, too.
They all want you to buy new jerseys for money.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers jersey reeks. It reeks. Go back to the creamsicle. It's cool. Tampa Bay.
The Bucs?
Their jersey looks, that jersey reeks.
The Broncos orange, that should come. They should bring that back.
It's a no-brainer. Doug Williams and Sammy Wild, like all those guys.
I'm saying the worst. What's the worst uniform, helmet combo looking
trying to find the worst?
The Jags kind of suck. The Jaguar itself's all right, but the jerseys are kind of whatever.
I'm going to be honest with you. I think the Seahawks jerseys are at the bottom of the league. They're not good.
Yeah, the Seahawks, they're not great. I can't lie.
Thank you. Colts is there.
The Seahawks, the Dave Craig old Seahawk ones are good. Let's just go with those. Let's just go with the simple blue and just the silver there.
It's beautiful. And it's like a native totem pole. That's the point. You're the Seahawks from the Pacific Northwest with the tribes. That's what the bird is. It's a beautiful totem. What are you screwing around with it for?
I don't like Michigan States that look either. Maybe because I'm a Michigan and a Bills fan or something, but like this, the green and white, it's just kind of like
boring.
It's not even cool like throwback. Like Penn State's all white, but it looks cool. It's like, that's their deal. Like, you know what I mean? They don't, it's like, by far, are you still thinking, Kurtz? It's the Jets.
I'm trying to find one that's
the Jets.
I know. I don't mind the Jets.
Buccaneers, Seahawks, Jets.
The Buccaneers would be close. I probably dislike the Buccaneers more. I think I might go with Cam here. I don't like the Bears. The Bears would probably be the one I like
honest with you. The Kansas City Chiefs jersey
what do you like about the Bears?
But it works. It works.
What's your beef with the Bears jersey?
The dark blue and a little bit of orange. I like the orange. When they have the orange, I kind of like that. They're alternate jerseys. But as far as their usual home jerseys, no.
I got one for you. Commanders. Put them on the list of crap. Their jerseys reek.
The maroon?
I've already made my choices. Seahawks, Commanders, Bucks, all throwbacks. Go back to your throwbacks, you morons. It's very simple.
I may hate the Commanders. I don't mind the maroon.
Well,
I'm not big on the paper, to tell you the truth.
You know what? What jersey needs to be changed? And I'm going to somebody's going to snap on me and cut my mic. I think San Francisco needs a redo. It's not like it's helping them any.
Well, you can say that about a lot of teams. So the Cowboys.
I didn't see that one coming to 49ers.
Nope. No, get better.
Well, they need a redo. I'm not going to disagree. No, but they've won a bunch of Super Bowls. I said the same thing about the Bills. People flipped out when the Bills rolled out that candy cane crap. Remember the red jersey, which I don't mind. No, I don't mind the red jerseys and the Bills. But
you know what?
The whole thing is they never won with anything else. So what difference does it make? It's not like you're breaking some tradition.
I'm going to tell you this, and this one I'm going to get yelled at again. The Ravens need a new helmet. I love their color scheme, but their helmet's weak. It's a bad Raven. He looks like a loser. Just saying, improve it.
Wow. I kind of like the Raven. What do you want, a mean-looking Raven?
No. You got no beef with the Raven.
I've actually thought about this. No, and I love ravens. I told you they're mysterious birds, but they could come on. That raven could be so much better looking. Make them slicker. Their colors are nice. Just saying.
You know what I noticed too? What I noticed is we all noticed the baseball jerseys, right? The name, whatever. They're just a little bit off. You notice how, Kurtz, I don't know, you noticed when players get wet, how like crazy, like thin it is. Like everyone.
Carlos Rodon looked like he was drowning. Carlos looked like he was drowning in his first start. My God, it's like, what? Is this man okay? Is he dying?
When the Dodgers were in Chicago and it was raining, bro. It looked like they were like, it was drenched. Like you could see them. They kept going like this all the time, like every couple of seconds. I was like, man, these jerseys, you guys really F this up pretty good. But I swear to God, like even baseball hats now, guys, I tried a baseball hat on. The brim is all big now. Like not the lid, but from the top, like they're rounder and bigger. I don't know why they F everything up, man. Like, I don't know what's wrong with you people. Like, it's just a baseball hat. Like, why do you have to screw this up all the time?
These City Connect jerseys need to go away quickly. I can't. The Boston Red Sox wearing this all yellow. I think it was the yellow one. Rockies wore a jersey the other day.
Yeah!
I didn't even know who's playing.
That's a goal for the Sharks. 7 goals down. Let's get that 8.5. That was the play,
I don't have a problem with
I'm like, what was he celebrating? There's nothing going on. I say the Sharks going to score, right?
There's a lot going on.
Oh, that's a terrible goal, too. Number 27 hat.
Settle down, George. What's it got? You've already won your bet with Edmonton. Just let me have some fun. Come on, George. Come on. Let's get real.
You can have it. It means nothing to me. I'm done with Edmonton tonight. They've already. I got my Hyman anytime goal. I got my win. I got the over. I'm very happy with the Oilers tonight. Very unhappy with the Dodgers tonight.
What do you think about the Chiefs, Broncos? Any improvements there on those jerseys or anything different? Like,
we should go back to what are we thinking? I like the big D and the horse back in the day. The Patriots with the guy.
The Broncos had a classic.
He was cool.
The orange crush, the blue helmet with the orange jersey is really good. The Broncos.
Yeah, I agree, Gabe.
But you're right. The Broncos, their new one is sort of like Tampa. These modern sort of, we're going to change for the sake of changing is dumb. But I was going to say,
the
Minnesota Twins.
The ball? Yeah, that one. Twins? You like
the Minnesota Twins have a new hat and logo. It blows. Oh, have you caught that, Kurtz? They played. Didn't they play the Yankees? No, they didn't play the Yankees yet, huh?
They have not played the Yankees yet. No.
Look at the Twins. Look, I'm telling you, it's like a white M. It looks like the Marlins. Like it's actually letting you say you don't know what the hell's playing. I'm like, what the hell is this?
This hat sucks.
Yeah, I saw them. I'm like, you're not the Minnesota Twins. What are you wearing? Where's your hat?
What's M?
Like, yeah.
Oh, my God, help us. What happened to Twin Cities? That's
I know, no one raves about this. I see everything, Cam. I was watching a Twin game. I'm like, what the F is this? I'm like, what's on your head? I'm like, it's not even, it doesn't even look like a big league hat. Like, it looks like a spring train. Like, what is it?
Who invented this hat? You're fired.
Yeah, you see it now, eh, Cam? It sucks.
Yo, it's awful. It is so bad. I don't even know it's
It looks like the Marlins. It's like, is this a Marlin hat? What are you wearing?
I thought it was a Marlins hat. Exactly. Stick to TC. That's who you are. Twin City. I'm not.
Together. How come we weren't told the Twins were changing their logo? I didn't know this.
Ridiculous.
People that bashed him will be eating their words this year.
Pretty heavily favored to be a first-round pick, minus 400 earlier this week. But that's not the surprise.
If you're drafting J.J. McCarthy in the first half of the first round, you clearly believe not only is he a starter, he's going to be your starter for years to come. But
a popular bet was under 3.5 wide receivers in the first round.
The tape doesn't lie, baby.
Only on SportsGrid.
There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Jason Tatum has games where he has stinkers. He shoots a 4 for 16. Jaylen Brown in the playoffs gets exposed because he can't go left. Porzingis gets old. Sometimes Jrue Holiday's not consistent. Al Horford, Father Time can catch up. That being said, I still think they're going to the NBA Finals and winning it. And I'm a Knicks fan. I hate the Celtics with all of my might.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
I mean, they're still the best. They're still the champs. Everyone wants to crown the Celtics the champions, but that's not the way it works. They got to beat them. And, they got to get through the East, which isn't going to be fun to begin with. Everyone thinks it's so automatic.
If it's just Boris is kind of losing his power, if whatever his tactics have been, yeah, move on.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
Memphis owns it. They beat them 5 straight times. And Memphis is awful. So what does that say about the Bucks? They are the most overrated team in the NBA, hands down.
Michigan and Boston College, there's going to be goals scored in this game. But, with that being stated, the total's up to 7.5 right now. I got to go under 7.5 here, Scott.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid. Your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Pharrell Coast to Coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
All right, our crew right now is trying to get that Minnesota Twin hat up here. Cam is disgusted by it. And even Kurtz is baffled. He goes, it looks like the Marlins. What is this?
I'm not a Minnesota fan. And I got to tell you, Minnesota, I have a couple of their jerseys. Remember that one I picked up at the airport for cheap, too? You guys, Twin Cities is a beautiful
I used to have a
thing.
Kirby Puckett jersey, actually.
Yes, Gabe. I'm telling you, why do you, every time you change
before we
Minnesota,
knew the truth.
it gets worse. Yeah. Good call. Yeah. Anyway, that new hat is. I wouldn't give $2 for that hat in a bargain bin. It stinks.
It's that bad. You know what it is? Like I said, we always say, like, how come no one in the room? It's like the Allen Iverson statue, the little mini statue. It's like, how come no one ever said, like, hey guys, isn't this a little small? Like,
yeah.
Who in the room? Like, didn't someone say, doesn't this look like the Marlins? Even if, like, you're going to get steamrolled and they're like, all right, we have a new hat coming out. Fine. Okay. But, like, if I was the owner or something, I'd be like, listen, it's not our effing brand. It's stupid. It looks stupid. It has nothing to do with us, and it's confusing. Like, I don't understand it. It's a terrible hat. Cam says he wouldn't pay $2 for it, Kurtz.
Yeah. And
is that too harsh?
I said I hadn't seen it before tonight, or I didn't realize what was going on. When I first saw the picture, oh my God, that does look like Miami. I would have known if you'd have said the hat and tell me what team is this, I would have said Miami. I would have never equated that to the Minnesota Twins here. So I don't like any of the changes. I don't like. I guess I'm that old man. Get off my grass here. Get off my lawn.
The only new cool one is Seattle. Seattle was wearing a badass jersey the other day, but it was like the old one. But it was their City Connect. Their City Connect was super cool.
But here's the deal with Seattle. Back in the Dave Henderson era, they got to get the Seattle with the Mariner pitchfork back on like those.
Yeah, they have that. That's their City Connect. That's what they have for the City Connect.
I mean, yeah, like I like the color scheme of the old one. It's nice, very very pretty.
I don't know why a lot of these teams don't just go to their old uniforms. It doesn't make sense to me either. I don't get it. Like if you're the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Denver Broncos, why the hell? Like you'll sell more gear. You'll sell more jerseys.